Do you ever look around and think, wow, the world is a crazy place, and it just seems to get crazier and crazier? Ease your mind and take a break. This is Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah. We're a hub for inspirational Christian sermons, practical keys for Christian living, and Christian discussions and interviews. You'll be inspired to live the life that you were created for. Your host is a top-ranking podcaster, best-selling author, world record holder, aerospace engineer, life coach, evangelist, and founder of John Giftah International. Welcome to Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah.
Are you in a place in your life where you're just crying and asking, why is no one helping me? Why am I not getting any help of whatsoever from the people around? I see so many people around, but I'm in my own trouble and I don't have anyone to help me. And the last couple of days I've been talking to you from the man in John chapter 5, the crippled man who had been a cripple for 38 years. And, the Lord has been sharing some revelations that I thought are really going to help you guys, and has been a blessing to me when I just received these revelations, and I just want to share them with you guys. One of the things that really caught my attention was one of the complaints that he makes with the minute Jesus steps into the scene and asks him, do you want to get well? The man says, I have no one to help me, and every time I try to jump, somebody else jumps ahead of me. In other words, if you check the context of John chapter 5, if you've not been listening to my previous episodes, you understand that there's this pool of Bethesda where there are a lot of sick folk, and whoever jumps in every now and then when the angel of the Lord stirs the waters, and whoever jumps in first would get healed of whatever sickness they had. And so there was this guy who had an expectation of getting a miracle, and he had been here for 38 years crippled. Think about this, not for a few days or weeks or months, but for years and decades together, this man has been a crippled, and he was at the pool of Bethesda. Now the thing is, when Jesus comes to the scene and asks him, do you want to get well, he doesn't even reply to Jesus. He says, I have no one to help me. Everybody jumps before me, before I do every time the opportunity comes, and I don't get it. I'm not getting my miracle. And it really caught my attention to understand this, that see, if you go to if there's an appointment in a hospital or something, right? What happens? I mean, there's a queue and everybody's waiting in the queue. But once somebody gets their appointment done with the doctor, do they still stand in the queue? Do they still linger around? No. What do? They just leave the place because they don't want to be there. They just want to get out of that place. And here's a classic example of there were so many people in the pool of Bethesda. So even when somebody gets a miracle, when they get healed, they would be like, hey, I got my miracle. But they're not going to stay there anymore, because this was a place of sickness. This was a place where people were waiting for the miracle. They were in that appointment room kind of a place. But the minute somebody got their miracle, they're not going to stick around and wait for somebody else to help them, right? I mean, just think about it on a human perspective. People are not going to do that all the time, right? Maybe there could be some one or two cases, but think about this. And probably this man has seen this, that there were people who had been in the line before, and he has seen them. They got their miracle, and he thought maybe they would help him. But they got their miracle, they left the place. They got their miracle, they left the place. And that's kind of a place from where this man could be saying, there's no one to help me. There's no one to help me. Because the ones who can help, I've already left the place. But everybody else is still waiting for their miracle. See, what I want you to understand is sometimes we get disappointed that people are not there to help us. Why aren't they supporting me? Why aren't they helping me? But I want you to understand that sometimes people are people, and you cannot put in that expectation on people that is never going to be met. An ideal scenario. You get what I'm saying? Right? The minute somebody gets well in a hospital, right? They're not going to go back to the same bed, or they're not going to go back to the hospital and stay there. They're going to get discharged and go back home, right? And that's exactly the case. So every single person who got their miracle, they're not going to look back at Bethesda. They're not going to go back there, unless they really had a heart to go back and care for those who have that, what do you call that? Even if they do care, maybe they went there and, cheered somebody else up, or maybe give them food or something like that. But then they're not going to stay there. Why? Because they got the miracle. Now they go into the free world and live the life that they want to live. So you have to understand that you cannot have unrealistic expectation over people. To a point, people can help you, but beyond a point, people are not going to help you. That is where you need to understand that your ultimate trust, reliance should be upon the Lord, because the only one who's going to be with you to the end of this age is the Lord. That's why you can't put your support system on people. You cannot put your somebody who you always can't say, I need somebody to come and cheer me up every time. Can I tell you something? It's not going to happen. There are going to be moments like David. You have to learn to encourage yourself. There will be moments when there's nobody to help you, like Joseph and the cupbearer. He told the cupbearer to remember him, but he got his miracle. He forgot about Joseph. Imagine how many times this crippled man could have felt that there could be somebody else who got a miracle, and he would have told him, hey, maybe next time you can help me get into the pool. But that person never showed up after that. It could have happened, right? 38 years is a long time for him to have a lot of disappointments and hurts. And that's the place I want you guys to get to. A place where you understand that you cannot depend on people, and you cannot just keep nursing on the wounds of the disappointments that have been caused by people. Today I pray that you'll get to a place where you understand that, yes, people may disappoint me, but I look at God. I know that even though I've been disappointed by people, I know that my point of appointment from God, my divine appointment, is on the way. When Jesus showed up, his life was changed altogether. And I believe that at the appointed time of God, God is going to show up in your life, and you will receive the miracle, the breakthrough, the touch of God that will change the trajectory of your life. Today, in whichever area you're praying about, maybe somebody who has to help you, maybe refer to a job, maybe to use their influence to get you a client, or maybe you looked at somebody to help you get, maybe a reach on your social media, or anything that you've been praying about. I pray today that, you'll come to that place where, even if you're hurt that people have not helped you and they've disappointed and hurt you, come to the place where you're like, you know what, God, I don't want to put any more expectation on people. I want to put all my hope, trust, and reliance on you, because I know that you will never leave me nor forsake me, and you're going to definitely show up and show out in my life. Amen. God bless you.
You've been listening to Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah. We hope you were blessed and inspired to live the life that God has for you. Make sure to subscribe to the John Giftah YouTube channel for regular uploads of sermons, skits, interviews, and more. Follow John Giftah on Instagram for regular inspirational posts. And don't forget to check out the best-selling books written by John Giftah, Who Am I?, which will help you understand your identity, and the latest #1 bestseller, Unveil Your Purpose, helping you discover your purpose and to start walking in it. Make sure to leave a rating and review, and be sure to share it with your friends and loved ones. If you'd like to donate, you can find the PayPal link in the description. And if you'd like to invite John Giftah to speak at your event or to get more details, go to the website at www.johngiftah.com. See you on the next episode of The Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah. God bless you.